much rice. I love it. Alright, what's up everybody? Sorry it's a little hard to see me. Step out in the light. Alright, there we go. It's a little bright from... I just wanted to do a little video of me changing out the ball joints and LCAs. I snapped an LCA last event on the third run. Kind of sucks. Shit happens. The guy who made them got me some new ones, so I'll show you those now. Here is the new LCA. Boxed. It's kind of hard to see, but they're plated in there. Here's the one that snapped. A lot of people want to try to, bash the guy's work that made them, this and that. I will say they were his first pair of notched ones, or, his first design. So that could have been one thing that happened. Another thing that happened, me and Matt Van Kirk clanked wheels pretty hard. That could have pressure cracked it in the past, and then I drove a few vents on it. A lot of tilt out I was running. Could have caused a lot of stress on it, and it finally snapped. It held through on this side, thank God. It made sure that I didn't bend anything else. I was able to notice it and get it off the track and get home safely. So that's always good. So it looks like we're gonna have to do the LCA, unbolt the tension rod from the LCA, and do the ball joint from the LCA to the knuckle. And then I'm going to have to remove these ball joints and put them on my other LCAs, because my other LCAs are S14 and these are S13. So I got the LCA off. I'm probably going to have to end up buying new tie rods as well, because I ended up bending the one and one was already bent. So I'm going to need new tie rods. I got my new LCAs. We're just going to switch the ball joints off the old LCAs onto the new LCAs. That's where we'll lead off. Pretty fairly and simple though. Take off your tension rod. It's going to be two 18mm, 19mm bolts, and then a 17mm on the tension rod bracket, and then it's going to be a 17mm on the LCA bracket, and then a 22mm and a cotter pin on the knuckle itself. And once you get everything loose and you get the LCA loose, you want to hit the knuckle with a hammer until the LCA drops out, and it'll pop right out. There she goes. And that's how you get the ball joints without a press. We're here at O'Reilly's grabbing a ball joint press. Pretty much just got to rent one. It's like 118 bucks, but obviously I'm renting it, so as soon as we come back we can get our money back. Hammer and socket, definitely got the ball joints out, but I'm just not trying to mess the LCAs up or the ball joints, putting them back in, so we're going to get a press for it. Here is the ball joint press. Me and my dad went and got it from O'Reilly's. You can rent them. If you return it within 48 hours, you'll get your money back. They basically charge you for it, so if you decide to keep it, then it's yours. I'm going to get started on some other chores while my dad is going to press in the ball joints and get the ball joints in and get the ball joint boots back on. And then we're going to get the LCAs back on, put the tension rods back on. Then I can go drive the car around the block and make sure it's going to perform right. Alrighty, so after we get the last ball joint in, because we got that one in, ready to go. I mean, that one right there that he's putting the boot back on. Once we get the other ball joint back in, we can get the LCAs back on. And I believe once I get the LCAs back on, my alignment should be the same as before. I don't know if that tie rod got bent when I snapped my LCA over there on that side. I'm gonna put everything back together and go for a drive regardless if it feels weird, just so I can make sure that everything's working properly. He's just straightening up. I got the other LCA in the hole. My phone's about to die, so I'm not going to be able to film much. So I'm going to work on the Honda, get the carpet put in the Honda, and then let the phone charge, and then I'm going to wrap the LCAs up and take it for a test drive. I'm just working on the daily right now. The slave cylinder didn't have that boot, so I put the rubber boot back on. I actually have a slave cylinder to put on, but I can do that another day. Today I'm on top of doing all the LCAs and stuff. I'm taking the seats out, vacuuming, got that all done. And then I'm gonna take that carpet over there and put that back in here. And it should look better again because now I got all the plastics back in it. So might as well make it a whole car again now that it's not gonna leak. Oh, and the reason why it leaked, I'll go back. It leaked because of the taillights. And now I have new taillights with new seals. And probably because of the wing, but now I put the stock wing back on it. So hopefully I don't have a leak now. Yeah, I got some big old subs. Probably gonna take these stickers off. Be done with the whole stickers thing. Take a lot of them off the window. Gonna rock the villains, of course, and the OG Majestic, but I took everything else off. What's everybody? So I'm just working on the daily right now. The slave cylinder didn't have that boot, so I put the rubber boot back on. I actually have a slave cylinder to put on, but I can do that another day. Today, I'm on top of doing all the LCAs and stuff. I'm taking the seats out, vacuuming, got that all done. And then I'm gonna take that carpet over there and put that back in here. And it should look better again because now I got all the plastics back in it. Might as well make it a whole car again now that it's not gonna leak. Oh, and the reason why it leaked, I'll go back. It leaked because of the taillights, and now I have new taillights with new seals, and probably because of the wing, but now I put the stock wing back on it. So hopefully I don't have a leak now. Yeah, I got some big old subs. Probably gonna take these stickers off. Be done with the whole stickers thing. Take a lot of them off the window. Gonna rock the villains, of course, and the OG Majestic, but I took everything else off. I finally got all the carpet in, both seats in on the daily. I sigh because I had to sew one of the seats. I've never sewed before. That was pretty, like, I don't know. That wasn't fun. I don't like sewing. I'll go show you guys what I did. It's a little bright and sunny. It's not like that normally here. I like that. Let me show you what I did. I'll just kind of like do updates as I go, because I can't really hold the camera in a good spot for this. I'm gonna put the LCAs back on, back it out, and go for a test drive. So I got the LCA on the driver's side. Time to go do the passenger side. Second half of this video today, got it on the ground, got the LCAs all mounted up, got the ball joints on it, just put some new spark plug. We just put some new spark plugs in it. We're gonna test these out right here. These E3 plugs. The guy at O'Reilly's is telling me the guys in their Hornet cars run them. They're very cheap. We're not gonna be butthurt if they, fall out or anything like that on me. So we're gonna go take the car for a rip down the road. I definitely have some fitment issues. I definitely think this side is higher than this side, regardless if they're bacon fenders. I'm about to back it out, let it warm up, and then go take it down the road. And we're gonna pull the plugs and see what it did, because I don't have a wideband to read my fuel ratios right now. My dad fixed the fire extinguisher mount. I got a little happy with the hammer and the screwdriver because I bent it. My dad fixed it for me. Good handyman, always helping me. Got some air in the rear tires. And get a front bash bar on it, and go play around possibly during Pro-Am and grassroots. Took her for a rip. Needs an alignment for sure. These new E3 plugs that we're trying seem to be alright. I know people are going to be like, oh, you're running a turbo motor, you should be running copper, this and that. We're going to try them for one event, see what happens. I'm a little cheap right now because I had to buy a race suit. I got to buy an LED strip for the front. Just bought hood pin spacers for the front so I can fix my rubbing issue. Just a bunch of different little things I had to buy. I'll be running Pro-Am on Saturday. I'm just going to be doing practice and qualifying. I mean, if I qualify, I'm going to run and see what happens. It's on the 3/8. I'm trying to keep the car good and ready for grassroots. I just haven't had much practice, so I'm trying to get as much practice as possible. And on the plus side, if I don't qualify or if I get bumped out after the first round that I drive, I can get out, go watch my other friends, have a few beers, hang out, just have some fun, relax a little bit. It's a Saturday night racing event with drifting, so it could really be a good time. We got Pops over there working in the yard. But that's gonna wrap it up for this episode. Getting the LCAs on. It's kind of like a 2-day thing. Yesterday and today. Got the carpet in on the Honda. Got it looking all fresh. But until then, guys.